It's time for our daily deep dive into our Mahoning and Shenango Valley weather. It's weather for Weather Geeks. Hi, once again, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend. Certainly was a muggy one, including today, but we are about to get some relief from this unusually humid air mass for October, certainly. You know, if this were the middle of summer, we'd be talking about, oh, it's too muggy out. But, I mean, these dew points in October, it's kind of ridiculous. Dew points around 70 most of the morning, and they've only dropped a few degrees this evening. So it is very soupy. I said earlier today, it's air you can wear. And with not much of it in the way of a breeze, the air felt heavy out there to me today. But drier air is on the way. We'll talk about that in a second. With this soupy air in place, we've had some warm nights over the last few nights, certainly. Very midsummer-like. This morning's low was 66. That would set a record for the warmest low temperature on a date, although I think we'll drop below 66 before midnight tonight. So the current record of 65 set in 1939 likely to stand, but as of this recording, this would be a record for today's date. Now, the rain last night underachieved a little because the remnants of Nate were moving so fast that we didn't have enough time to squeeze out a lot of moisture. The models were overdone, certainly, with their rainfall projections, but this was still a nice drink of water. Certainly needed, certainly helpful. About a half an inch from downtown to Austintown to Canfield to Boardman, down to Latonia, Guilford, around Lisbon. And about a half an inch, roughly, Newcastle up to Hermitage and Mercer. Some places closer to 3/4 of an inch, and even close to an inch up near Mesopotamia and northwestern parts of Trumbull County. At the airport over the last 2 days, we picked up 0.94. That is exactly the amount we picked up in all of September. So that's pretty remarkable stat, and goes to show you just how dry September was. In the temperature department so far in October, through the first 9 days, each and every day has been warmer than average for high temperatures. And through the first 9 days, this is the 6th warmest start to the month of October. I'm going to talk about the longer range forecast at the end of the video, but I think October is going to go into the record books as one of the warmest on record here in Youngstown. We're off to a very warm start, and I see no signs of any sort of sustained chill through the end of the month. Again, more on that in a second. Now, if you're waiting for the drier air, it's taking its sweet time. This is a loop of the dew points over the last 12 hours. You can see that drier air and kind of the grays and reds it's not exactly plowing east. So it's going to take most of the night for the dew points to drop, but they will eventually. We will be dry tonight. Hard to see, but our clouds, our stratus and stratocumulus clouds, are starting to thin out here locally. And the Indians taking on the Yankees this evening over in the Bronx. Could be a passing shower, but they're going to play ball no problem in New York City this evening. Now, with the sky partially clearing and with a lot of moisture in the lower levels of the atmosphere, I think it's going to fog up in a lot of places tonight. Our Futurecast visibility product here, a lot of times this is overdone, but it gives you the idea that there's going to be some localized areas of pretty low visibility tomorrow morning. Wouldn't be surprised if the Weather Service has to hoist a dense fog advisory for parts of the region tonight and into tomorrow morning. All right, our foliage, it's a little underwhelming, I think. The heat and the dry weather really has done a number, I think, on this year's foliage. Now, that being said, some moderate color here and there across eastern Ohio, western PA. Certainly there's brighter colors the higher in elevation you go. And they're getting very close to peak in a lot of New England and parts of the upper Midwest and the UP of Michigan and into northern Wisconsin. And again, locally, your mileage varies a little bit. Low to moderate color found throughout most of the region. All right, tomorrow, fog to start, but I think it's going to be a nice afternoon tomorrow. Those dew points are going to mix down into the mid-50s. The sun will be out for a lot of the afternoon. It's not going to feel quite as soupy as today, and certainly it'll be sunnier than today was. Now, the forecast for Wednesday is a little bit of a tricky one. Our in-house model here is really slowed down with its last couple of runs. It's slowed down the arrival of the showers on Wednesday. Right now, our going forecast, if you look at your Storm Tracker 21 app, I've got in there for Wednesday, showers, especially in the morning. Last couple of runs of this model have suggested that it would be especially in the afternoon and into the evening. Now, this is just one model, one run of one model, so we're not going to hang our hat on this. But whether it's mostly in the morning or mostly in the afternoon, it's going to rain in a lot of places on Wednesday. Nothing all that heavy, but that's our best chance of getting wet all week. Now, the end of the week is not looking all that nice. I think there's going to be a deck of clouds that is kind of stuck in place for a lot of the end of the week as get a little, easterly flow off the Atlantic here. This is going to result in a lot of clouds for the Mid-Atlantic region, the Ohio Valley. Maybe there's the occasional shower Thursday into Friday, but I don't think overall it'll be as wet as Wednesday. As far as the latest modeling goes, as far as rainfall amounts, Wednesday into Wednesday night, most of this is showing 3/4 of an inch or less, maybe up to half an inch, and that would certainly be good news. We could certainly use another rainy day or two here across our region. Now, you know what, I was mentioning a minute ago, the longer range. It's going to warm up this weekend. I mean, we're talking upper 70s to around 80, perhaps, on Saturday. And, when we start talking about the medium and longer range here, I'll walk you through this. Here's the late week and weekend warm-up. Very chilly and stormy in the Pacific Northwest, and warm Ohio Valley, Northeast, Southeast as well. Now, I do think we cool off early next week for a day or two. That's this next shot. This is next Tuesday, the 17th. A little passing shot of cooler, more seasonable air. Nothing unusual for October, certainly. But then look what happens. I mean, the warmth comes right back. This pattern is just looking like it's impossible to break. The Pacific Northwest, parts of the Northern Rockies, cool and unsettled, but east of the Mississippi, no modeling is showing any sort of sustained chill in the coming weeks. This is the hot off the presses latest European long-range modeling for the next month, from now until the first week of November, showing a chilly period for places like Seattle and Portland and Boise and Billings, maybe Salt Lake City, but not here. I think this is going to shake out to be a very warm stretch compared to the averages for the rest of October and perhaps into the first week of November. So, a lot of people are asking me, hey, when's fall going to get here? Compared to the averages, not anytime soon. Now, yes, as we progress farther into October and into November, it gets really hard to get to 80 degrees. The sun's only up for, 9 hours, 10 hours a day, 10 and a half hours a day by early November, and the sun is getting lower in the sky. It's not going to be as ridiculously warm, but remember, our averages are also falling, and so by early November, an above average day, a warmer than average day, is 58 degrees. And I think we're going to see a lot of warmer than average days for the next month. All right, go Tribe tonight. I'll see you on 21 News at 11, and more Weather Geeks coming your way. Same time, same place, tomorrow evening.